Hi, I'm Chef Raphael and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show you how to make delicious, very soft and spongy carrot cake muffins. I'm using the all new canola oil from Blue Band. It has omega 3, 6 and 9. It's actually fortified. It's really nice. It makes because of the color, it actually makes the orange pop. Whenever I'm making a carrot cake using any other oil, it's not this deep of color, and they are delicious. They are easy to make, and I'm showing you how to make them. Let's get started. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. This channel is all about what I say, bringing cooking back, making you a better home cook or baker. Today's recipe is a carrot cake muffin. The ingredients are 340 grams of grated carrots. I have 245 grams of flour. I have 300 grams of sugar, 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, 1.5 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. We have 4 eggs and about 150 grams of raisins. And what makes this cake even healthier, because usually cakes we usually use butter or margarine, today I'm using the canola oil from Blue Band. It's actually fortified with vitamin, with omega 3, 6 and 9, and it's a plant-based oil. And the best thing about this, it's flavorless. Now whenever when you're baking, you need a flavorless oil, and this one here is flavorless. How it starts with the ingredients is we start with the eggs. It's a very simple procedure when making this cake recipe. There's no creaming. So I start with the 4 eggs. And then to this, I'm going to add the sugar. And I've already weighed these ingredients in advance using a weighing scale. I always advise whenever you're baking, invest in a weighing scale because it makes everything much easier. Sometimes some recipes come in cups, but to be honest, especially whenever you're weighing some ingredients, it's very hard to have them in cups. So I always say that it's good to invest in a weighing scale, and when you have it, to be honest, it will be so much easier whenever you're baking. So you need to first mix the eggs and the sugar, and then I'll add 240 ml of that's 1 cup of the canola oil. And basically you need to just make sure that it's completely mixed into the eggs and sugar. Gives it a nice yellow color. It will actually boost the richness of the color of this recipe. Now to this we'll add the dry ingredients, the baking powder, bicarbonate of soda and the cinnamon. Now the cinnamon is really important because it actually adds the flavor that you need whenever you're doing this recipe. So all these dry ingredients will add to the wet. I've already sifted my flour to avoid the lumps. And you slowly incorporate the flour. If you do it too fast, the flour will actually spill over. So what I usually do is slowly mix it. Now to this, and you actually stop mixing when the flour is fully incorporated. And to this, you add the carrots. Whenever you're grating, you can use the small part of the grater, or even the larger ones is fine. And now we fold in the carrots And while you are at it, you can as well add the raisins at this moment because we're going to mix them anyway. The amount, again, you can check. You don't want too much. If you like it, you can add slightly more. You can add dried, any other type of dried fruit, like currants. You can also add the orange peels. I've never tried it, but I know it will work. You can also add candied ginger because that will also work well in this. Give it a different taste. Actually, I'll add the rest because when I evaluate, I see it will not be too much. So that's it. Mixture is ready. We're gonna fill the muffin tray. Now you can use this kind of paper or the small ones for the cupcakes. Either one is fine. Mind you, this same recipe, you can actually even use it in using a big baking tin, either the round one or the rectangular one, or square one, if you do not want to do it in the style of a muffin. Now the trick whenever you're doing this, whenever you're filling muffin cases or cupcake cases, is either use an ice cream scoop or use a small ladle and then pour it into the casing. And whenever you're also doing that, you're also trying to measure the amount of cake mixture so that you actually put them in a similar amount. And whenever you're doing any cake or muffin, you fill them until they are 3/4 way done, because you also want to give them room to rise and become full. All filled up. Some mixture was left, so again, it also depends on the size of your paper that you're using, and whatever is left, you can always bake another tray or transfer it to a rectangular baking tray and make a small cake. It's up to you. So into the oven they will go. I'll bake them at 180 degrees. I've already preset the oven to that temperature, so it's very important to do that in advance. It usually takes about 7 minutes, depends on your oven. Set it at 180 and have the top and bottom heat on so that you actually bake both sides. So this will take about 15 to 20 minutes, but again, the time is also dependent on the amount of mixture that you have actually put in the tin. So into the oven. So the muffin have taken 15 minutes in the oven, but you actually know the cake is ready when you smell, your kitchen is smelling cake. That's how you know it's ready, or it's almost. Or when you insert a small knife or a large stick, toothpick size maybe, and you also know it's ready by it's a spongy cake. And if I cut into one, I love the color. It's extra yellow because of the canola oil we've used. It smells really delicious, and you can see the raisins are there, so it gives a nice crunch to it. One thing I forgot to mention, when you're making this recipe for carrot cake, you can also add walnuts. Walnuts is the best that goes well in a carrot cake. Chop them up and then add them together with the raisins and get nice crunchy texture if that's what you like. And I hope you've learned something today. Remember, this is a muffin recipe that you can also make as a cake. So remember, whenever you're making muffins, just as they are good. You can dust them with icing sugar and they'll be delicious. So I hope you've learned something today. Keep watching. So many videos I have on my channel. If you're new, subscribe and hit the like button, and the bell button will also make you notified whenever you'll get notified whenever I have a new recipe out. And until next time, goodbye.